Burnout isn't just about exhaustion. It's about mental imprisonment. But what if the key that frees you is already in your hands? Years ago, I was preparing for Passover. It's a holiday about liberation, but ironically, I felt anything but free. The cleaning, the pressure, it was overwhelming. So I said to my 5-year-old son, "This is so much work. It makes me feel like a slave." He looked up and asked, "What's so bad about being a slave?" I said, "Well, when you're a slave, you don't have many choices. You don't get to decide what to eat or what to do during your day or when to go to bed." And he looked at me as if to say, "Well, you're describing my life." I said, "Well, slaves can be forced into harsh labor." He said, "Like cleaning your room?" So I knew I had to dig deeper. I said, "When you are a slave, nobody cares what you want." And I realized in that moment, I was describing me. Now, it's one thing to be surrounded by people who don't care what you want, but it's quite another and tragic when you give up on your own wants, when you give up on yourself. This is the condition of being imprisoned by burnout. So burnout isn't just about being tired. It's the soul-crushing moment when you stop believing that your wants matter. You surrender your agency. You give up on yourself. But what if you could break free? What if you could reconnect with what you want and build a life that truly fits you? Today, I'll show you the 3 hidden forces keeping physicians trapped and how to break through each one. Force number 1, the politeness trap. The first force that disconnects you from your wants is what I call the politeness trap, how we learn to become polite members of society. Watch a preschooler and see how they tell everybody exactly what they want. "I want to go to the park. I want to get ice cream. Here's what I want for my birthday." As they get older, kids learn the don't tell rule. If nobody asks you what you want, you stay silent. As a child, you might have been laughed at or ostracized when you shared what you wanted, especially if it's a dream about what you want for the future. Now, sometimes adults kick it up to the next level and play the guess what I want game. The rule book says, "Well, if you love me, you'll know what I want." This is dangerous territory, friend. The rules set the stage for the rest of life. Is it any wonder that over time we learn to get disconnected from our wants and needs? Let me tell you about Jan. After her divorce, a friend invited her to a Japanese restaurant. Jan immediately said, "Oh, I don't like Japanese food." Then she thought for a minute and she realized, wait a minute, it's my ex-husband who didn't like Japanese food. She had no idea about whether or not she liked it. So friend, let me ask you something. How well do you know what you want? I've created a True Wealth worksheet that you can get in a link below that will help you explore the areas of your life that are working for you and which could use some help. Force number 2, the physician tax. The second force that disconnects physicians from their wants is what I call the physician tax, the price we pay for our chosen profession. You and I made a singular choice that shaped the trajectory of our lives. We wanted to become doctors. That single decision modulated our wants, our desires, and our priorities. First, we wanted to get into medical school. Then we wanted to do well in medical school to get into a great residency program and then a great fellowship program. Once I was in private practice, I realized how long it had been since anyone, including myself, asked me what I wanted. Somehow, my own wants got lost in the single-minded focus of serving patients. Further, we were taught about what behaviors are becoming to physicians. If I go after what I want, what does that say about me? What will my colleagues think if I negotiate my contract? What will they think if I leave my practice or launch an entrepreneurial venture? Once you step into the identity of physician, you might narrow the scope of acceptable wants. You may reach a point in your life where you simply cannot ignore your wants anymore. I once met Sid. Throughout his childhood, his dad told him that he would be the fourth generation of Harvard-trained doctors. Sid said, "I knew I didn't want to do that," but his dad encouraged him to give it a try. So he became a Harvard-trained doctor. Then he rolled up his diploma and mailed it to his dad with a note. "Now you got what you wanted. Time for me to go after the things that I want." Sid left medicine and created his own life of true wealth. When he was diagnosed with cancer in his 70s, he told friends that it had been a wild ride and he didn't regret a single choice. Force number 3, the rainbow chase. The third force that disconnects you from your wants is what I call the chasing the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Chasing something that doesn't exist instead of investing time and effort getting something that you want. This pot of gold is a nice fantasy, but it distracts you from the real ways you get what you want. Here are some specific cognitive errors. The first is so common, it has a name: the arrival fantasy. There's a belief that something magical will happen when we lose that weight or get that position or achieve a financial milestone. I was speaking with a New York Times bestselling author. She said, "I thought that after I was a bestselling author, I would feel different. My life would suddenly be better. But I was just the same old person the day after my book was on the list." Here's the reality, friend. What we really want is a desired feeling state. We want that new car or to be the department chairman because we think we know how we will feel. However, the truth is that your thoughts about your circumstances, not the circumstances themselves, create your feelings. So even before you get what you want, you can choose the thoughts that will create the feeling state that you think you will have. As Reuben Hurricane Carter, the boxer wrongfully imprisoned for murder, famously said, "They can incarcerate my body, but never my mind." So today we're talking about liberating your mind and reconnecting with your authentic desires. Sometimes we don't do a very good job at predicting what will actually satisfy our wants. A few years ago, I made a cross-country move. I asked myself, where do you want to live and what do you want to feel like when you live there? I wanted a historic home with original floors, trims, and built-ins. A working fireplace was a must. I toured 10 houses that checked every box, but I wasn't thrilled with any of them. They were all dark. I realized that I had overlooked how much I valued light, and these historic homes had small windows. So sometimes as you get the things that you want, you'll uncover desires and preferences that you didn't know that you had. So here's what I want you to understand. Many physicians feel mentally imprisoned by their circumstances. You have the key to get yourself unlocked and unstuck, and it begins with reconnecting with your wants. You can start building your wanting muscles. Begin small. If you've got a spare hour, ask yourself, what would I really want to do? My son and I are really excited about an upcoming trip. I was speaking with him on the phone and he said, "This vacation can't come soon enough. I am burned out." So we started asking, what kind of experience do we really want when we're down there? Yes, we want to go see the Giants play at Oracle Park. But are there things that we want to say no to so that we don't come back from vacation feeling even more tired than when we left? What do we really want? Your brain offers you ideas about what you should want, but your body offers valuable insights about what you really want. If you imagine something that you truly want, your body will feel expansive. If you think about something that you should want, your body is likely to contract. Further, it's important to distinguish between a want and an urge. Urges are urgent. They shout, they demand. Quite often we feel urges when we want some escape from a feeling that we're trying to avoid. Wants are softer and quieter. They can easily be drowned out. In general, urges will take you further from a life of true wealth, and wants bring you closer. Now, exploring what you want is an act of courage, but there are two benefits. First, chances are much better that you'll actually get what you want. And second, and more importantly, you'll grow and evolve as part of the process. You will become a better version of yourself. If this message resonated with you, I invite you to do 4 things. First, download the worksheet that will help you assess how well you're getting what you want in different areas of your life. Second, subscribe to this channel. Third, share this video with a colleague who might benefit from the message. We physicians need to support each other on this journey towards freedom and true wealth. And fourth, watch my video about the real causes of burnout. It's the perfect next step in understanding what might be keeping you stuck. You'll find it right here on my channel. Friend, you have the power to break free from the mental prison of your own design. When you reconnect with your wants, you reclaim your psychological freedom and begin building your life of true wealth. Your wants matter. Your dreams matter. You matter. Stop being enslaved to everyone else's agenda. Start building your wanting muscles. Start living for what you want. Thank you for spending time with me. This is Dr. Vicki signing off. I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.